Today's date is March the 22nd, 2022. Will Berlinghoff is the voice of cosmic awareness, and Beatty is energizer and questioner. Would awareness please give an opening message for the public?
That this awareness's message for the public is rather straightforward. Do not go into panic. Do not go into fear, especially at this time when much is been put out and is being put out as to the situation in the Ukraine between the Russians and the Ukrainians. It would seem that this situation is extreme, to say the least. Even that which is provoking talk about a third world war. But this awareness says this is mostly deceptive in nature and is propaganda, but not necessarily propaganda by Putin and the Russians. This is not to say that they do not employ propaganda. It is simply saying that which is being put out as to the state and condition in the country and how the Ukrainian troops are beating the Russians soundly, and that the Russians are committing huge acts of atrocity and murder against the Ukrainian people is that which this awareness is saying is propaganda, are lies and deceits. That it is not really the point here of defending the Russians or condemning the Ukrainian forces and leadership, but rather to remind you that you are all creator beings, spirit in nature, experiencing a physical reality, and that there are two ways to live in this third dimensional physical reality, either as a victim who takes on board all of that which has been commanded to be taken in by those who put it out in the first place, or as a liberated being that has come to understand the truth of your reality, that which is a truthful reality, that which puts you in the center of the circle of your own creation. There are those, that which this awareness could call the dark cabal, who know this and have employed this understanding against humanity for times immemorial. Not only in the last decade or 50 years or 100 years, but well back in time. And that there has been a battle on this realm that is the earthly realm. And this battle is to continue to have prominence, position, and power by those who have an understanding of how it all works in the first place. And that which this awareness is saying, the working of it all, is that you are a creator being and that you create reality constantly, whether you are aware or unaware of this being so. And it is in the best interest of the dark cabal to keep humanity dumbed down, ignorant and stupid, so that they can be controlled and manipulated. And that this in the last 2 years has hit an extreme. First, through the COVID virus that led to the acceptance of mandates such as the wearing of masks and social distancing. Then moving into the vaccination, and that which was put out as the value of being vaccinated and how to be a good citizen in doing this action of taking the vaccination. And now this latest event, that of the, quote, invasion of the Ukraine. And it is all designed still to keep you in the dark, to cause you to be in great fear, terror, and anxiety, so that you can be easily manipulated in the direction that those who are of the dark would want you to go, for their benefit, not for yours. And it is known by them that you are largely ignorant. This being humanity is largely ignorant of that which is their true capacity as creator beings, spiritual in nature. And therefore, you are a creator being creating whether you recognize it or not, are aware of it or not. And if they then place in your mind that which are the illusions of this reality, that these dark ones can push you here or there or anywhere they wish, which is what they are doing and which is what they are counting upon. And such is the effect of creating an ignorance, that you would create a reality of death, mayhem, and destruction, where the smallest child is easily a victim to the dark intent of those who have had power and control for too long. But the good news is that this is starting to break apart, this control and domination that these ones have enjoyed for too long is starting to come apart at the seams. The masses are starting to awaken, and there are many, yourselves included, who are asking now questions that can no longer be avoided, questions that must be answered even by those in power and control. An example of this is that which the New York Times recently printed in regards to Hunter and his laptop. And that this is that which is now bringing in his father, the resident president. And that there are questions that he will have to answer, and perhaps even charges that will be laid. Indeed, this awareness does say not perhaps, but Joe Biden will have to answer the questions that are being posed, and that it is so that his house has already, one of his homes has already been broken into, not broken into, then investigation, a search warrant was issued, one of his homes was entered into. But this is all peripheral to the bigger charge that this individual, Joe Biden, may well have been involved in illegal acts that profited him when he was vice president and since then as well. The point here is things are starting to come out. The point here is that there is an awakening occurring. The point here is, are you part of the awakening? Are you starting to understand? Are you starting to see that which is the deeper truth of the situation that you find yourselves in this physical reality? That this is actually a time of great awakening, of great opportunity to see beyond the veils that have been placed in front of your eyes and face. To see beyond that which is a reality that has been prescribed to you. And that since you had no other reason but to believe it, for you have assumed that the truth was there, and those who gave out this reality list that you have checked into and are part of. Why not believe what you are told by those very ones you have deemed to be the pillars of your society and your world? They could not, after all, do anything bad against you, could they? And here you have it. They could, and they have, done great evil on this world, in this realm, and that it is now coming to an end. And it is now starting to be opened up and inspected by those who have the authority and power to do so. But that power and authority rests first in you, in each of you, and in your comprehension of that which is going down. While there is a tendency to be frightened and fearful of it, that it is actually now the time to stand up and to be counted, to add your voice and your actions to that which is the liberation of humanity itself, whether in the country of the United States of America or the Republic of Russia or any other nation on this planet. Now is the time for its citizens to rise up, to awaken to a truth that has always been there but has been covered up, that has been hidden for too long. And it is happening now. Therefore, in this straightforward discussion from this awareness, it is said, now is the time for your awakening. Do not go into fear, depression, or sadness. Do not be pushed around by the events that you are seeing on your television. And if they do disturb you that much, turn the TV off, or the radio, or the computer. And go within yourself and find your centeredness. Find that part within you that is awakening ever more so every day to the truth of the situation, to the truth of who and what you are. It is now time, and the time is upon you now. That this awareness is complete with the public message.